On March 26, 1991, a group of 5 boys between the ages of 9 and 13 left their homes in Daegu, South Korea, and walked to nearby Mount Woryong to look for frogs. The boys were all students at Singseo Elementary School, and they knew the area well and lived only a few miles away from the mountain. The Frog Boys, as they would come to be known in the media, never came back. Their parents reported them missing, and while both townspeople and local police searched the area, not a single trace of the boys was found. Media attention escalated and the country became engrossed in the case. President Roh Tae-woo even ordered 300,000 policemen to join in the search. Over 8 million flyers were distributed and a reward of 42 million won was promised to anybody who could locate the boys. Some of the Frog Boys' parents became so determined to find their sons that they quit their jobs so that they could devote all of their time to searching. Investigating the case still proved to be difficult. Authorities received false leads, and at one point, a man called the police and lied that he had abducted the Frog Boys. "I've kidnapped the boys for an exchange of ransom and they're dying of malnutrition," he said in one of the calls. The case went nowhere until September 26, 2002, when a man looking for acorns in Mount Woryong found scattered pieces of children's shoes and clothing. He called the police, and after they searched the mountainside, they found all 5 bodies of the Frog Boys in a shallow pit. The police suspected that the boys had frozen to death as it was cold and rainy the day that they had gone missing. They might have just gotten lost, and the fact that their bodies were so close together might be indication that they were trying to huddle for warmth. Their parents, however, were skeptical. Their sons were found only 2 miles away from the village, so how could they have gotten lost? And why would they have taken off some of their clothing when the weather was so bad? Lastly, and the most damaging point, was that Mount Woryong and the surrounding area had been searched and examined over 500 times the past decade. How could the bodies have possibly gone unnoticed for such a long period of time? After the boys' bodies were exhumed, police admitted that their hypothermia theory was incorrect. 3 of the boys' skulls had marks on them, suggesting they were beaten to death by a blunt object. 2 of the skulls had traces of blood on them, and another had 2 bullet holes inside of it, possibly from a shotgun. The police were no longer dealing with a case of missing persons. The Frog Boys were murder victims. No further developments have taken place since the boys' autopsy back in 2002. They were eventually buried on March 25, 2004, and their skulls were donated to Gyeongbuk University for medical research. In 2006, the case reached South Korea's 15-year statute of limitations on murder, meaning the investigation was stopped and the murderer can't be prosecuted for the crime anymore. Fortunately, South Korea removed the statute in July 2015, so perhaps there is still hope that the Frog Boys and their families will finally receive justice.